What's up, YouTube? Adam Grover from Grover Boys Racing. It's been a while since I posted a video. Told you I'd give you some updates on the wagon, and I think the last video I posted up was with Matt's Grand Marquis. So, updates on the wagon. I tried some stuff. The fan, I pulled it completely off. I haven't gotten a chance to put the electric one on still, but I pulled the fan off, and we took a little bit of weight out of the car, about 70 pounds. Pulled all the AC stuff off because it didn't work anyway. Not using it at the moment. And I'm going to convert it to a serpentine belt anyway. But I tried no fan. It's hard to tell what it picked up. So I compared 60 foots, and I went off of 60 foot for consistency. If it went like a 2.4 to a 2.4, if they were in the same range. The fastest 60 foot the car's put down is a 2.3. But I started having some problems with the car. So I'm going to get into all that. But I kind of I tried to compare where the 60 foots were pretty much the same, where they were within that 2.4 range, because the 1550 pass was a 2.3 60 foot. The problem is we had a really good DA when it went like a 1578 with a 2.4 60 foot. And then we had a really crappy DA where it went like a 1573 with a 2.4 60 foot. So when I tried certain things, the DA was up, the DA was down. It was just a mess, though. We're fighting heat. I'm trying to get stuff done to the car and show you guys, and I have heat fighting me. So this is the worst time of year that I could have possibly wanted to try to do this. But I went a 1578 to a 1573, comparing those 60 foots and, trying to get a fair assessment with no fan. So it picked up about half a tenth. I put the fan back on because it needs a fan. I didn't have time to wire and mount and do the electric fan. Like I said, pulled about 70 pounds out of the car. 1573, 2.4 60 foot. So, pretty even. So with the fan and the weight, 70 pounds, you're talking probably 5 horsepower from the fan, which I'm surprised it's not more than that. Maybe even 10, because 70 pounds would be about 7 horsepower. Should be, but it picked up, half a tenth. But half a tenth and half a tenth is 1/10. So that would be, a 1568. And then when we get these problems fixed, a good DA, who knows what it'll jump to. But I honestly don't see why I can't get a 1530 or so out of it. But, like I said, we had a couple problems that I ran into. Snags. One, I could tell that the thing was too rich. I told you guys that the carburetor was too rich for this setup. It's hard on plugs. So, I bought plugs. And did the plugs, tripping over stuff. See. Watch me pull out the broken one. Because I broke one pulling it out. If I can even get it out of the package. That's what we got for plugs out of this car. So that was a good call, buying plugs. Who knows how old they are. They are Ford Motorcraft plugs. they could have been changed when whoever did the wires put wires on it, which would make sense. Maybe even after they did wires, because who knows how old they are. Or the cap, the rotor. The cap and rotor didn't look too bad. I did have that off. The wires look relatively new, but old from sitting, being ran maybe a couple of years. When I say relatively new, I mean they were probably replaced within like the last couple of years, 2-3 years. The car sat for a year. That's what the guy I got it from told me. So I'm dealing with old crap. I should have went through it, but I didn't. I was having fun with the car. I didn't care. It was what it was. But it all comes full circle where you got to just bite the bullet and do this stuff. As I was pulling the spark plugs out of it, this car always had like a weird tick. Almost sounds like an exhaust leak. I'm hoping that it was 2 loose spark plugs. Because when I literally leaned on the wrench, I didn't even really apply much pressure. It was just like, swoop. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's loose. So, that could have been my tick that I was hearing. Hopefully it is, because I hate that sound. Probably not. If it was, that should be some power, because that's compression leaking out of the cylinder. So we had that, the plugs, the fuel filter, you could tell was definitely old. I mean, look at this thing. Definitely old. A new one looks like that, which I'm not using this, but this is a new one that I just had around for a lawnmower. But not to mention the crap inside of it. That's not fuel, that's actual gunk inside of it. Now, my dad mentioned that to me. He goes, you might want to put a fuel filter on this. The thing runs okay. Whatever, you know. So that was another issue. The other night I had the car out trying to test something, and the thing's just, like, it wasn't getting fuel. And I'm like, there is no way it's not getting fuel. No way. I was like, this carburetor's way too rich. I was like, unless it's the fuel filter. So now I'm going to go buy a fuel filter probably tomorrow. The same crappy style one, the see-through. They work well, but they're just little crappy cheapy filters. Like $5. So I'll pick one of those up tomorrow and put on it. All of this, the plug started it, seeing how rich it was, but all of this led me to pulling the carburetor off the car and rejetting it. It was rich, plugs are black, and that fuel filter looking like crap. I said, let me just look at this carburetor, just to see. Maybe a carburetor needs to be cleaned. Now I pulled it apart. All the anodized stuff, the main body, and the metering blocks, they were actually clean. Rejetted it. I actually put one side together, and when I pulled the other side apart, I looked in the bowl, and I noticed all this gook, but the rest of it was clean. Like through the jets, all that was clean. So I sprayed it, got the bowl clean, tore the other side off, looked, sure enough, crap in it, sprayed it, got all that crap out. Now the carburetor is back together. Rejetted, had a 68 in the front, 72 in the back. Now it has 64 in the front and 66 in the back. I went down a total of 8 jet sizes. 4 in the front, 4 in the back, 8 total jet sizes down. That's a lot down, but with how black those plugs are, I'd almost rather it be on the leaner side instead of fat like that, because that'll just wash the bearings out of it. It stinks. Like the car, I drive it, you smell it on you. So there's all that. Now this is something I don't like doing, making multiple changes at once, because I just put fresh plugs in it. I just redid the carburetor. Now a new fuel filter. So honestly, I might have an idea of what fixes this thing, because it needs all of it, and it does need all of it. But I'm not going to know what fixed this thing, because this thing started acting up bad, like to the point where I was in the high 16s. Like it just did not want to go. It was breaking up real bad, like spitting, sputtering, like it didn't have fuel. If I double primed it, it would kind of take it and force it to go, and then it was almost like it was running out of fuel. This carburetor, I'm going to readjust everything on it. I'm going to have to, because it's got so much fuel pulled out of it now, and I might have to rejet it and richen it back up. But I want to start down and have to add fuel, because what I can do now is I'm at a 64 and a 66. 64 is the lowest fuel jet, obviously fuel jet, but it's the lowest jetting I had in the kit for the carburetor. So I literally can't go down any smaller than that. I don't have a 62 or a 60 or any 50s. I wanted to put 62s in it, but my kit don't even have a 62. So it's got a 64 in it. Now what I can do in the back, I can go up in just the back if it is too lean. This way it gets a little bit better fuel mileage out of the double pumper, because it won't be using the bigger jet driving around off the front. And when I whack into it, that fuel will come in and, you know, richen it up. So that's my plan of execution. If I need to richen it up, I will just do the back of the carburetor. I'll go up 2 sizes. If it's still too lean, another 2 sizes. I think you can go as wide as 8 to 10. I think I had one carburetor, I think I had 10 jet sizes different, and it ran decent. But so that's my plan of execution for that. The hood is cut, not pretty. My hole saw didn't want to work, and I got the air cleaner kind of up against the hood. So there's that. And there's the hood. So hopefully that'll push that air right down into that air cleaner and act like a ram air. It's getting there. And then the next thing to go is that fan. I got to get that fan off of there. So that thing is a horrible design. Getting back to this fuel filter, let me show you the fuel that came out of the carburetor. If you can even see it. This doesn't do justice for it. You can see it's brown. This is actually cleaner fuel in this one. It's not as bad, but this looks like mud. As you would, you know, assume after seeing that filter. So I'm trying to get this stuff done. I did find a pair of really small slicks online. It's hard to meet up with the guy, and honestly, really don't have the money to go out and buy them. They're pretty cheap. It's like 150 bucks. Good deal for a pair of slicks. They're relatively new, and they're really short, so it would have really helped the car out. But instead, we got these 26s. They were actually mine. I sold them, and a buddy, I'm going to consider him a buddy, he gave them back to me for free with the wheels. So I got a little bit of life on them. Pretty bold. This one's worse than that one. You can't even see the wear holes in it. He just wanted them to test fit and roll. I sold them pretty cheap, but like I said, he gave them back to me. So these will be going on the wheels that are on the wagon, so you guys can see exactly what the tires do. I'm going to hold off on doing this, so that way you guys see just what tire size does. My plan now is... My plan now is to get it back together, new filter, tune the carburetor in, run it around, see how the plugs look in it after I run it around, make sure it's not too lean. Sorry about that. If we're good, which I think, honestly, I don't think we're really going to have to mess with that much. I think that's going to be probably about where it wants to be. After I make sure that's good, I'll get a pass in, see what it does. Hopefully this thing runs good. See if it picks up anything. Most likely it'll probably be... It should break into the 1540s at least. I would love to see a 30 out of it. If we were having the problems, I think they occurred on that 1550 pass. The car, when it left that 60 foot, I was actually surprised because the thing felt not bad. It was the best it felt, don't get me wrong, but it just had like a little, kind of like a dip in fuel. Like if I could see an air fuel gauge, I think I would have saw it go lean and then fatten back up. Almost like the fuel filter was starting to get clogged and something might have moved and gave it fuel again real quick. Hard to say because I have nothing to data log any of that stuff in this. This is old school. That's one thing nice about having things that you can data log, because I could wideband in the green Mustang that the phone's sitting on right now. I can data log the pass and see what it did air fuel wise during that pass. If it spikes, if it dips, if it's straight, it'll actually show me the exact curve of what that sensor is reading. So that would be a very nice tool to have while doing this stuff out, because I could just see and know what is happening. Air fuel gauges make a very nice difference. So that's something I'm going to have to put in this car sooner than later, unfortunately. But for now, it's going to be old school, reading the plugs, which I will do even with a wideband, just to verify that the plugs look like what the wideband is saying or telling me. I always like to verify that way. Some people are against plug reading, but that's how people did it for years, this stuff. So, and it works. So, we're going to try it, see what it does. As long as it's fixed and it's not another issue, put the slicks on it, try it, see what it does. And then we can go after Matt and his Marquise. And whatever it is, it is. I'm going to try to sneak this electric fan on this week. That way that's on it. Because I already, like I said, it's about half a tenth. That'd be a nice half a tenth of a second to have, especially racing a car that is known to be faster. but I'm willing to take the gamble. And if he beats me, he beats me. He deserves it. He's a good dude. So it's all in fun, but everybody does want to win, though. You know, doesn't matter who you are. There's always some people claim that, oh, I don't care. And when it comes to friends, you know, sometimes you don't. But at the end of the day, I think everybody would like to get that W if they can at least do their best to do so. But, like I said, it's all in fun, and, you know, whatever the outcome is, we'll laugh, shake hands, joke, and maybe get food after or something. You know, he's more of a family member than he is a friend. So at the end of the day, this racing stuff don't matter when it comes to that bond. So that's our plan of execution with the wagon. Finally got the Monte Carlo that was here that I've been working on that was giving me a headache. That is gone. So now I'm going to play with this thing a little bit and see what's next. Man, you'll never believe what I just found. I don't think I'm going to use it though, but stuff that you find that just is chilling right in front of you. In the bag, sealed. It's ugly. That thing's huge. Probably would work good though. I don't know, I might have to see how this thing looks on there. Just chilling in a box. Just just literally noticed it in the back of my Mustang, looking right in that box right there. Ain't that something? Oh, I guess maybe I can try it and see what happens, huh? Also, I gotta fix why it won't start. I can jump start it with the screwdriver, but it doesn't want to work with the key, so it's something with the neutral safety switch, most likely. So I gotta fix that too. That's another thing I gotta fix. Hopefully tomorrow I can get everything done that I want to get done. Alright. Well, I guess we'll throw this on real quick. I don't really do much with you guys watching me, so let me see if I can prop you guys up and watch me install a fuel filter. What fun is that? Surprise! I don't even know where I can set this phone at. I guess that works. Let's see if it even... how tight it is. You can't really see me though, can you? Not really much to see here anyway, I guess. Do gotta loosen that. Let me see if I can move that phone. Alright, something like that. Oh, fan blade. That's kind of in the way. Can't really see what I'm doing, huh? I don't know where to prop that phone. You know what? Bear with me, guys. I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting this. Let's do it like that. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that just fell. Hit the floor. Watch me stab myself in the hand. World's longest fuel filter installed in a carbureted vehicle. All because I want to clamp it a certain way. There we go. Has a ridge on it. Trying to get the fuel line to go over that ridge so that way it seals, doesn't leak. Oh yeah, it is ugly. Might have to zip tie that thing down too. Oh yeah. Yep. Fits the car perfect, don't it? Didn't I? Totally messed it up. There you go. Now you can see it. It's late. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I apologize. This video is going to be horrible. There you go. You got to see me install a fuel filter. There it is, guys. The old wagon. Not much left to say on this one. So, next video, I'll let you know what happens. What the outcome is of doing all this garbage. And give you guys an update, hopefully soon here, during the week. That being said, I think it's time for me to get some sleep. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.